There are 5 stages of learning to code that every single person watching this video right now is eventually going to have to go through. And those 5 stages go like this. First, level 1, you have Thomas, who has not even started or he's going through his first ever coding course. He knows 0 programming languages, he has 0 skill, no job, and is basically still spending all his time searching things on Google like what languages should I learn or what is the best coding course for beginners. I ran a poll on my channel earlier to figure out which level all of you are at, and according to it, 51% of the people who watch my channel are currently at this level. So for all of you, if you keep watching, you're gonna know exactly how to break into the next level, which is level 2, Hello World Coder. At this level, you've basically been learning for a good amount of time. Maybe you're going through a couple of courses, you build some basic things, but you're not yet at a point where you're ready to start applying for jobs. And 33% of you are currently at this stage. And if you're one of these people, a bit later in the video, I will have a very important piece of advice specifically for you, because breaking out of this level is actually the hardest part, at least it was for me. Then after this, we have level 3, the Leetcode Warrior level, when you have learned enough to have the confidence to actually start applying for jobs. So at this point, you're probably spending your days grinding Leetcode and getting rejected by like 5 companies every single day, leading you to question whether going through the previous 2 stages was ever even worth it. Then we have level 4, which is the Hotshot Junior Developer level, which once you reach this level, this is probably going to be the biggest breakthrough moment of your career. Because at this level, you have successfully fooled, convinced some hiring manager to actually hire you. Then finally, we have the Pro Coder level, where you are essentially moving up the corporate ladder. Maybe you're a senior developer, which means you even have some actual responsibility now. You make good money writing code at a pace of 3 words per minute. Life is good. 5% of you are apparently here, including one person who has been working with code for 2 decades. What? Please teach me how to center a div. Anyway, but you know what? There's actually a bonus level, the Pro Mega Hacker level, that's above all of these levels, which not even I have achieved, obviously, but honestly, most people don't even try to reach because they don't even know that they exist. That is something we will go into at the very end. So I want you to look at these levels right now and determine which is the level that you currently fall into. And that is because I will next go through all of these levels in detail and tell you exactly what you should be focusing on right now to move up as fast as possible. By the way, if my journey is something that you would like to join and follow along with and grow together with me, then I'm not gonna stop you from subscribing to the channel. And if you would like to be notified when I upload new videos, I'm certainly not gonna stop you from hitting the bell notification button. If you wanna see behind the scenes of my coding projects, like gonna prevent you from following me on Instagram at internetmcoder, okay, you get the point. Let's get into level 1. Level 1 is Thomas. And basically at this level, you're still figuring out where you even want to go with your coding. In the beginning, spend a bit of time researching all the different areas, different languages, what they can do, different kinds of things you would want to build, and really think about your goal. Why are you learning to code? But then once you've sort of done your research, you figure out why you want to learn to code, just pick a language, pick a course, and just stick to it. At the beginning, I spent way too much time just going through like a lot of different things, like doing one course here and then like, oh, there's a new shiny language here, let me do this course. It's much better to be really good at one language or one area of programming rather than like a jack of all trades. And as soon as you're able, start building very simple things. Don't worry about building something super complicated at this point. Actually build confidence in your abilities to code. It's going to be hard, it's going to be uncomfortable, but the uncomfortable things are what make you grow. And I want you to remember that throughout your journey. Then we have stage 2, the Hello World Coder, and I said this was the hardest level to break through, and here's why. At this level, you'll be learning for a while, you've probably done a couple of courses, maybe you've even built like simple things, but at this stage, the biggest hurdle stopping you from getting to the point where you're actually ready to start applying for jobs is less about learning and it's more about confidence. You just need to build the confidence to actually start applying. And the biggest piece of advice I can give to do this is probably a bit counterintuitive. It's just to try before you think you're ready. Seriously, you're never gonna be at a point where you feel like you're a good programmer at this stage, because there is so much to learn about programming, and the job of programming is not to know everything. It's to know enough about something to be able to do the job and to figure out the rest as you go. even at my current job right now. Most of the time, whenever I get a ticket, I have no idea how to do it, but it's my job to go and figure it out. The experience of interviewing and the experience of working on actual project, maybe you go pick up a freelance project from Upwork or something like that. That experience is going to make you grow so much faster. And the last thing you want to do is just keep on doing courses, keep on doing more courses. Try to bring your skills into the real world. So that is the biggest advice that I would give. And these days, some of the most fun projects to make, at least for me, are ones that utilize actual real world data, especially given that I'm very interested in data science, machine learning, and all that kind of stuff. And for that, the absolute best tool I found is BrightData, who have agreed to partner up with me for this video. BrightData is an incredible data collection tool that makes it insanely easy to collect public data from the internet. They do this with their award-winning proxy networks and web scrapers, but the best part, and the reason I use BrightData, is that they give you access to all kinds of ready-to-use datasets on things like LinkedIn data, Instagram account data, Amazon products, and endless other things. And if you're saying, well, can't I just write my own web scraper? Yes, and BrightData can also help you with that, because most of the time, internet data is messy, so you need to spend a long time cleaning it up and actually making it usable. But BrightData does all of this for you automatically. All you have to do is choose a template, for example Airbnb prices or Amazon products, and configure it a bit, and you can just access the dataset in whatever format you like CSV or JSON. So go check out BrightData from the link in the description, and make sure you stay tuned because we have a project coming up where we will be using BrightData in an upcoming video on this channel. And now on to the next level. Level number 3. My recommendation for this level is go take a basic course on data structures and algorithms. There's 2 options that I really recommend. Number 1 is the algorithm specialization by Stanford University from Coursera. I've done this myself. This is much more like a theoretical approach. If you really want to take your time and really want to learn all the fundamentals, this is the course that I would choose. It's going to be really comprehensive. If you do all the exercises, it's going to give you a really good fundamental, and after that, then you can go into applying them by just doing a lot of Leetcode, problems. I know this can be boring, but if you feel like you don't really even understand what data structures are and what algorithms are, why do we even care about them? I actually made these 2 videos before where I explain in like the dumbest, like most basic way possible. Or if you don't really care about knowing all the fundamentals, you can go for 0 to Masteries. Masters a Coding Interview Bootcamp, which is, again, I think this was the first data structures and algorithms course that I personally did. I have a discount code down below for 10% off because I am affiliated with them. And once you get to the level where you're able to pass like medium level Leetcode questions, you are definitely going to be having a very good chance of passing interviews. Now, if you're applying for smaller companies here, your focus should simply be on building a lot of projects, specifically in the languages and in the types of technologies that you are applying for. So a startup hiring for a React engineer, for example, because they don't have as many resources, they're going to expect you to already know a lot of skills going in. So that is why they will actually probably test you on your React skills on the interview, or maybe there will be like a take-home coding exercise. That's what I've seen happen a lot. And if you do all of that, you are eventually going to get to level 4, which is the level that I am, the Hotshot Junior Developer level. So I can pretty much just share to you what I'm focusing on myself right now and what I have been recommended by my more senior colleagues to focus on. The most important thing you can do is just learn as much as possible. What I am told by my mentors and my senior colleagues in my company all the time is that the only thing they expect is for me to just be willing to learn. You are probably still going to be learning a lot. Whatever language your company uses, you're probably going to be told to do like an online course on it, and you're going to sort of have to work on that alongside your day-to-day work. But at least if you're at a big company, a company like mine, they will obviously pay for all the certifications and all the training that you will need to do your job well. So you're really well taken care of, or at least you should be. So just focus on learning as much as possible. Ask as many questions as you can possibly can. And if there's one thing I've learned from all my previous work experience and this job right now, is that the number 1 thing you can do as a junior is to be someone who always tries to do things on your own before you ask someone else how to do it. Just go fearlessly towards new challenges, because that is what they like to see. At the end of the day, someone who they want to solve problems for the company, right? And while at the beginning, you're not gonna know a lot. As long as you just try your best to do anything that you are given, and you can show to them that you at least gave a good attempt at some problem or some ticket that you're given, and then you can say, okay, I tried this and this and this, that didn't work, where could I go from here? They really gonna be happy to help you, and that is how you're gonna go far, because they want to see that you're actually actively learning from your mistakes and being willing to make mistakes to then learn from. So that is my biggest advice. And if you do all of this and you keep your job, at some point you are going to reach level 5, which is the pro coder level. At this point, you've been working at your junior level job for 1 to 2 years, or you've been freelancing for the same time. Whatever your path is, if you reach this level, like 5% of you are pretty much home free now. You are making good money, life is good, and you pretty much know that you are never going to be out of a job in your life if you don't want to be, because at this point recruiters every single day asking you to join their new cool company, to be interviewed for the Python engineer role. You essentially have endless opportunity. And again, the reason for this is programming is such a high value skill that once you get to the point where you are an experienced programmer, as in you've demonstrated that you are a good software developer and someone that literally every company is now going to want to hire. At this point, you're probably making so much money that you can just really chill, I guess, and just see where you want to take your career. Or maybe you want to try to reach the ultimate pro hacker coder,
whatever I said,
level. If that is you, then keep watching. To reach level 6, you essentially need to stop working for other people and instead build your own software, either your own startup or just your own software as a service. And there's a lot of different things that people build their own business using their coding skills. My real goal has always been to use my coding skills to actually build something, to build an actual product, a business. So I know that I will want to be pursuing this level, because the thing is, this website called Indie Hackers, where you can find all kinds of people who build very simple software that they then sell as a service to other businesses, other people, and you can literally make like $100,000 a month just from a very simple software, as long as it's something that solves a business problem. Anything worth pursuing is going to be hard, but I'm just really excited about challenge, building new things. So I know that eventually this is sort of the direction that I want to go to. Sort of just depends on your personality. Are you the type of person who's willing to take risk for potentially much higher returns, or do you just prefer the stability of having a stable job and a stable income, which is still going to be a very good income as a software developer? Really just depends on you. And yes, reaching level 6 is super hard. I'm probably going to fail like a million times before I eventually hopefully succeed, but I cannot wait to fail. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, is exactly that. Enjoy the process of trying, not the eventual result. I think you need both. You need a strong why, and you need coding to be something that you actually enjoy doing. So whatever stage you're in, whether you're still struggling with your first language, building your first project, or already building the next Facebook, enjoy the journey. Enjoy the act of trying, then failing, then trying and failing again, because if you don't do that, then what was it all for anyway? I recommend you watch this video right now. I recommend you follow me on Instagram at InternetMcoder, and definitely go to the link down below and join my live stream on the 8th of December, because that is when you can finally ask me all the questions you have. We can hang out. It's gonna be super fun. With that, I will see you there, and I will see you in the next video.